Welcome to the Movies to Watch Before You Die podcast. I'm your host, Dylan, along with my cousin and co-host,
Gab.
And today we are once again talking about a brand new movie that should still be in theaters by the time this episode's coming out, unless something goes catastrophically wrong. Gab, we're talking about a remake slash sequel of a movie we've done before, The Naked Gun.
Yeah. One of the things I wanted to talk about on this episode is do you call it a sequel or is it like a reboot?
I feel like the way they like to call it now is a legacy sequel.
Interesting. Okay. We recently covered the original, what is it, 1988?
I want to say 87 or 88.
I think it's either 88 or 82.
1988.
Okay, that's what I thought. 1988. We recently did that, and I think I had seen it once before, maybe when I was a child, I'm homesick from school and my dad takes me to Blockbuster and he's like, let's get this one, you'll like it, but it was really for him. Anyway, watched it for the first time as an adult and god damn it, I loved it.
I feel like that was the same experience I had when I watched The Jerk, because I had only seen it the one time before and you got me to watch that and I was like, this is great.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. So beloved film. Great. And then, as we were doing that movie, you told me that they were making a legacy sequel, and here it is.
Yeah, and I think we both were like, is this a good idea?
Oh, yeah.
But now we can discuss if it actually was a good idea. So,
yeah.
Gab, the 2025 Naked Gun, what's it about?
What's this all been about? What am I working toward?
Explain! As you would a child.
You think you know everything about me, don't you?
I dive at your bottom. I bloody well ought to.
2025 Naked Gun is about the son of Frank Drebin, also named Frank Drebin, and his journey on the police squad in an attempt to, I've forgotten most of the major plot points. He's trying to stop help me, please, God.
He's trying to stop Richard Kane from using the plot device to destroy the world and create a future where only the rich will inherit the earth.
Yes, yeah. And everybody turns into a savage and they fight each other. Okay, thank you so much. Yes. I will be honest with you, before we even started recording, as I was setting up my laptop, I thought to myself, I don't remember the plot of this movie. And then I just never bothered to look it up.
I think what's tough is we're used to being able to watch the movie like the day before we record. And now it's like, well, when do I have time to go to the theater? So you saw this a few days ago. I saw it like 2 nights ago. But we are here now on the day of our Lord, August 6th, that we are recording to discuss this movie. Do you want to hear the IMDb summary of what this is about?
You know that I do. Absolutely.
Only one man has the particular set of skills to lead police squad and save the world.
Interesting. So they're leaning on the Liam Neeson thing.
Yes. Very hard.
Okay. I don't hate that, considering, the brand.
Now, I will say all of the taglines feel like they would make sense with the poster, and most of them do not feel very good without the poster in front of me.
Okay, hit me with them.
The law's reach never stretched this far, which I can see the poster of him with his legs outstretched for that.
Mm-hmm.
Look out, crime. He's fully armed. And again, I can see the one where he's got like 8 arms and they're grabbing onto Pam Anderson.
Yeah.
I don't know what the poster is for this one. A hard cop in a soft city.
Oh, boy.
Again, this is an Uncle Sam style poster. I want you to pull my finger.
I saw that in the theater and I didn't like it.
I thought it's okay. I think my favorite one is the one with the hands all over him.
Yeah. I'm okay with that one. The pull my finger one, I was like, this is it. The humor, although not by much, is much more highbrow than that. You know what I mean? Like, what's beautiful about this is that they don't resort to that type of humor.
I think we'll get more into that, but something I appreciate about the original is it is willing to try every type of humor.
Yeah.
And we'll say whether or not this one does the same. Just 2 more. It's quick. He's got your back, and justice makes him wet.
Yeah, whatever.
I don't feel great about that one. Yeah.
Sorry, you had to.
Maybe there's a poster that helps.
Hopefully, fingers crossed.
That's all I have for taglines. So that one quick. Do we want to pause here? And we've already given a little bit of a spoilery description of the movie, but before we get into full spoilers, our opinions and all that, this is your warning. This is where you can bow out, go see the movie. It's a tight 87 minutes if you do want to go see it.
Yeah, you can get a large soda and you'll be just fine.
That already is a huge advantage in Gab's book. If your movie is
yeah.
under 90 minutes, Gab really would love this if it was just TikToks. She would be very into this podcast.
Yes. If we could do 60 to 80-minute reviews of 30 to 60-second clips, that would be my dream.
That would be really impressive if we could do that. Okay.
Oh, we could. We just spent 30 minutes talking about our fucking family trauma.
What a bunch of freaks. All right. Should we go into our opinions?
In this critic's opinion,
That's just like your opinion, man.
Well, I have a right to my opinion, and my opinion is you have no right to your opinion.
The movie starts with the scene that's in all the trailers with the bank robbery. And I will say, I think I appreciate that. It's nice when you see, most of what I saw in the trailer is at the very beginning. But also, it was really funny, and it would have been funnier if I hadn't seen it already. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But the moment I saw that what they are stealing is from a safety deposit box, the PLOT device, I was like, you've already got me. That's pretty good, damn good.
Yeah, I agree. There's a moment where the police are on the scene and they're trying to get into the bank and, negotiate with the people that are holding the hostages and whatever. And a little girl crosses the police line with a lollipop and is just walking. And they're like, little girl. And she doesn't, acknowledge. And she goes into the bank and she's looking all innocent. And the robbers stop and they're like, what are you doing here? And then off comes the mask and it's Liam Neeson as Frank Drebin. And that moment I was like, okay, that is exactly what I wanted this movie to be.
And I think just like the original, we have a good mix of humor because you get jokes like Frank Drebin, the new version, which is like self-referential. The movie knows what it is. It's a little bit more of a highbrow. Outside of the movie, you know what he's referring to. And then you have jokes like there's a car in a quarry and they're trying to use a vending machine crane to pick it up. And I was like, okay, that's stupid, but it's funny stupid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like for a movie this short, it threw a lot of jokes at me. And, there's always the fear if you throw a lot of jokes at me and you're only hitting like 2 of 10, it's not going to be a fun time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do think that there were some jokes that, or let me rephrase that. I think there were some moments where I was hoping that it was going to feel more like the original and it didn't. So for example, there was never that classic like OJ getting injured in all those silly ways over and over again, like the dominoes are falling. And I really was looking forward to something like that. And I think that on the one hand, you don't want to just repeat the old jokes, right? But in a similar vein, it's like this is what audiences are here. This is what they expect. They want to see the classic, slapsticky, silly, over the top. And so to try to deliver something that is similar, I feel like it's a tough line to walk. You know what I mean?
I do agree. If there's one type of humor that this movie is missing, it's the slapstick. And the closest we get is there's a moment where Ed Jr. is getting hit by the car door and his hand gets shut on the car door. And I was like, is this when it's going to be? And it was brief. It was right after that. They were like, done.
Yes. And that's exactly the moment that I'm referencing where I was like, oh God, here it comes. And then it kind of like, I almost feel like they either needed to do it or they needed to not do it. And this sort of like half-assed version, I was kind of like, it didn't really like scratch the itch that I had,
Okay, that's fair. I will say there's one joke that stands out in my head as what was the funniest of the movie for me. And once again, we're in full spoiler, so we're going to just tell you everything that happens, really.
Listen, go fuck yourself if you've listened this far and you haven't seen this movie.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah.
That's a spoiler alert.
You got to be clear. Yeah. You got to say what you mean, Dill.
Yeah. Get fucked. Where were we? All right.
Your mother's a whore.
Can I say what I think is my favorite joke of the movie?
Please do.
Okay. So Richard Kane has Frank Drebin Jr. trapped in a self-driving car, and he's going to drive him off into the ocean and drown him. So Frank Drebin Jr.'s got to figure out a way out of this situation, and he shoots the windshield. He kicks the windshield out, and he's starting to crawl out, and he's telling people to get out of the way because the car's still driving itself. First, he runs into a bunch of balloons, which of course are immediately sucked into the car. And I already was like, Then there's guys carrying bees for no reason. And I was like, okay, I'll bite. That's pretty funny. Then there happen to be guys crossing the street carrying a new windshield, which perfectly places itself back into the car. And then I was like, fuck, that's good. You got me. You know what I mean? I was like, that's hysterical. I think that's literally my favorite moment of the entire movie. There's a lot of moments that made me laugh, but I think that got me the most.
I did really like that. Again, I felt a little bit like if you've seen the original, it's nothing compared to some of the jokes in there. And listen, I don't want to like spend too much time complaining, but I do have something important to say, and that is what I think this movie was missing the most. May I?
Sure. What do you feel it was missing?
Enrico Palazzo.
Expand on that.
So at the end of the original Naked Gun, Frank Drebin is parading as Enrico Palazzo, the Italian opera singer, and he sings the national anthem, or he attempts to sing the national anthem, which I referenced in the original episode we did, is just a hair off. It's like he knows the words. It was just the perfect amount of I don't know this song where it was like passable. It was like chef's kiss. I can't even explain it. It wasn't so stupid that he didn't know the words, that it was like you don't know the fucking words to the national anthem, but it was so close that it was hilarious. And then instead of dressing as Enrico Palazzo, he then becomes the home plate umpire and umpires a whole baseball game in an attempt to find the person who's going to murder the queen. It is maybe the funniest movie scene I've ever seen in my life. And I think about it all the time. It is constantly living in my brain rent free. I absolutely loved it. And this movie just didn't have that. And I think there's a multitude of things that represents. The first being the case of mistaken identity, which is such a wonderful plot device in a movie like this, where you're dealing with a character who is like so stupid, but believes that they are brilliant, right? No case of mistaken identity. And then there is the like physical humor where Frank Drebin is like dancing and he's over exaggerating his umpiring movements and the crowd is loving it, and he's like patting people down.
He's calling strike two before the ball even gets to the catcher. Yeah.
Yes. And so there's like that lack of physical comedy there. And then I also just think it lacked like a final scene that so perfectly encapsulates everything. Like, I think it speaks volumes that we got on this episode. I saw this movie on Saturday. It's Wednesday, and I didn't remember what it was about. You know what I mean?
Well, I think the story, which I will say the story of the first movie isn't what's strong about it, but it's easy to remember. 100%. They're hypnotizing somebody to kill the queen. Like, you can remember that.
Yeah.
The story for this one isn't very strong either. But I think that the third act of The Naked Gun 1988 is significantly stronger than the third act of The Naked Gun 2025. Because The Naked Gun 2025 knows that the story's not what we're there for, and therefore the third act we're just kind of like, I don't want to say it peters out, but I feel like your first and second act are much stronger than that third act. Whereas maybe I don't think there is a weaker act in the original. The third act, you and I remember that baseball game so well. I remember Richie Jackson like must kill the queen, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Now we also have the benefit of nearly 40 years of time to remember that. But I don't think if I rewatch The Naked Gun 2025 10 times that at any point the third act is going to become my favorite part.
Yeah, I don't have 40 years of remembrance.
I meant we as a society, the royal we.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
I think they did an okay job. So many things to say. So the third act is where the plot device gets used, correct? And so all of the regular people, they're at like a UFC fight, and all of the regular people who are not elite are sort of like...
Wait, can I say one thing I thought was very funny in that scene too?
Yes, please do.
We have the announcers at the UFC fight, and they're there to announce the fight, and they go, we have our guest who's a former fighter, and it's New Year's Eve, and he goes, I just left him. My wife's at home and she was fully dressed up with makeup on. What do you think that's about?
Yeah, that was great. That was great.
Like, she's not picking up my phone call. Can I use your phone? She doesn't know your number.
It's so good. So funny.
That worked. Yeah.
That really did work. But the regular people all become like savage, right? Like they sort of, the best way that I can relate it is it's like in Mean Girls when she imagines that she's back in Africa and all the people are acting like wild animals.
Yes.
They're just like beating the shit out of each other. And so Frank Drebin needs to destroy the plot device in order to turn that off and have people go back to normal. And it just like there was no like anchor moment where it was like he did it. Like I don't even really remember how he did it.
You know what I do like, and it is sort of a play on these legacy sequels.
Hmm.
So a lot of the time when you get these sequels 30 years later, that's really about new characters. They have one or two characters from the original. Like the one I'm thinking of the most right now is those Jurassic World sequels. Like the last one that had Sam Neill, Jeff Goldblum, and Laura Dern come back, and you get your trailer shot of like them together with Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard and whoever, and it's like, oh
Mhm.
yeah, incredible. And spoiler again, sadly, Leslie Nielsen has passed, but Frank Drebin Jr. says to his father, "Give me a sign, an owl or something." And God bless him, when he's chasing after the villain, an owl appears and carries him to chase the villain on a motorcycle, and cacaws that he is proud of him as his son, and poops on the villain to help stop him. And it is confirmed, I guess, that that is Leslie Nielsen's Frank Drebin reincarnated as an owl to
Yeah.
help him. And I
Were
did
you
like that.
surprised? Were you surprised that they didn't use any kind of like CGI to bring Leslie Nielsen back into this film?
Oh, thank God they didn't. That sounds awful.
They do that though, right? That's like not an uncommon thing.
Like the best example I can think of is Ghostbusters
Carrie
Afterlife
Fisher.
brought back Harold Ramis from the dead. I think they did use some prior footage to finish Carrie Fisher's performance in some of the Star Wars movies.
Mhm.
Yeah, they've definitely done that before. You know, there are some. I don't remember the guy who played Grand Moff Tarkin, but he in Rogue One, he's been dead for years. Peter Cushing, is that it?
Who? Who?
Peter Cushing,
No, not the actor. Which character?
Grand Moff Tarkin.
I'm sick.
If you
Bless
Google it, you will recognize this guy from the first movie, who's like, "Your superstitious religion won't grant you power here, Lord Vader." He's Darth Vader's boss in the first Star Wars movie, who blows up with the Death Star.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Wow, I didn't realize that was his name.
Yeah, and he's in
Wow.
Rogue One like 25 years after he died or something like that.
Yeah. You know what I always think is really impressive in the Star Wars franchise? Uh, oh, God damn it. Now I'm on the spot and I'm gonna sound like I don't know anything. Um, who's
No, you're doing a great
the
job right now.
Emperor Palpatine? Thank you
I
so
thought
much.
you only called him Senator Palpatine. You said, "Are you a
Well,
sympathizer?"
I'm trying to get you to understand who I'm referring to. Senator Palpatine is in, which is now fucking 20 some odd years old, right? But he's in like episodes 1, 2, and 3.
Mhm.
And I'm like, damn, he really wasn't that old when he played Palpatine in the 70s.
No, they made him up to be old. It's like in The Exorcist, how the priest was actually like 40 and they made him up to look 80.
Do you feel like this is a question beyond the scope of this episode, but A, do you think that George Lucas knew exactly what 1, 2, and 3 were going to be when he wrote 4, 5, and 6? Or was it even called 4, 5, and 6 when it came out in the
No.
70s? Okay, so scratch that question because obviously we know that's not true. But do you think that when they cast somebody like Palpatine and they were like, okay, we're going to make you up to look old, it's because when you actually get old, we're going to use you again?
Now, I don't want to give him so much credit to say he knew that there'd be 1, 2, and 3, but I know that there was for years, like right after those 3 movies come out, he talks about having an idea for like 9 stories. So like
Wow.
he even had a 7, 8, 9 idea before they took, sold it to Disney and Disney took over.
Yeah.
And
How do
apparently
you feel
Disney
about
threw
the
that out.
Disney? Yeah. How do you feel about the Disney Star Wars
It's
situation?
kind of killed Star Wars for me. Like it's just oversaturated now. I can't watch a new I love my superhero stuff, so I keep watching all this Marvel stuff, even though it's varying degrees of good now. But the Star Wars, I'm like, you're not giving me enough high quality here to keep me coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I definitely get emotional in the new ones just because it's like, you know what I mean? But like objectively, it's like not great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So speaking of objectively not great, I feel like what this Naked Gun is missing is not in, oh my gosh, I can't think of his name. What is the matter with me tonight? Liam Neeson's performance. In fairness, Liam Neeson and Leslie Nielsen are so close. It is really hard to make sure I'm saying the correct
I
name.
can't remember who said it. I can't remember who's the director. It was like we just picked the next actor in the dictionary type guy. Like it was just the next name up. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it seems like. Liam Neeson, I don't think it's his fault. I think he did a phenomenal job.
He
But
nails
I
it.
think the writing was just like not as good. And I'm excited to get to the facts, and we don't have to get there yet. But I am excited to get to the facts because I feel like there was a lot of drama in this behind the scenes.
There's definitely some drama. Yeah. I didn't want to put too much of that in the facts, but there is some, the
Why didn't you want
original
to put that in the facts?
because it just feels a little upsetting. I don't know. It's the reason, like,
Upsetting
I
to
think
whom?
To me, like, I wish that it'd be nice if they're like, yeah, we're excited about it too. But apparently they were not excited about it.
Yeah. Well, I don't blame them. And quite frankly, I feel like maybe they were right.
Interesting. Well, let me ask you. Okay, so let's talk less about moments, more about performances. What do you think of Pam Anderson? Because I thought she was great.
I thought she was great. I I had I discovered something about myself, Dill, and that was that I didn't necessarily fully understand that Pamela Anderson and Anna Nicole Smith, two very different people.
It's very ironic that you say that because Anna Nicole Smith is in the Naked Gun 33 and a third, and apparently she replaced Pam Anderson was almost cast in that movie.
Wow, no
Yeah,
idea. Just kind of didn't. So, how did Pam Anderson? She was Baywatch, right?
initially Baywatch, yeah, and well,
Okay.
initially she was a Playboy model. Then she went to Baywatch and Borat and other stuff.
Yeah,
Barbed
yeah, yeah.
Wire, yeah.
Borat, that's right. Okay. So I thought she did a really good job. I really appreciate that she is just getting older.
You know what? I kind of really respect it, and I don't know if it is part nostalgia to me, but I was like, she still looks great. Like,
She looks great.
she looks
She
naturally
does.
great though. Like,
Yeah.
there's an irony that Priscilla Presley appears for 2 seconds in this movie. I don't know if
She
you even caught
does.
it. Yes, during the UFC, first we hear Frank Drebin Jr. on the phone with mom, and then during the UFC fight, we see that she's one of the people watching on TV when he's dangling out of the New Year's Eve balls. And I
Oh.
was like, she still kind of looks the same, but almost in a bad way. Where like she's kind of just frozen in time.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
I don't want
yeah.
to insult. She's got to be nearly 90 years old or something like that. So I
Yeah.
hope that, she's doing very well. And it was
Yeah.
nice to see somebody from the original cast still in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought she did a really good job. I'm happy to see her just like getting a little older. Now, here's a question. I've heard I've heard varying degrees of this rumor. The first is that she and Liam Neeson have started some kind of romantic relationship. And the other is that we are all stupid and this whole rumor about a romantic relationship is just to get people to see the movie. What say you?
I fully believe that they're an item.
An
That's
item. What
that's
are
what
you, grandma?
they're a couple. They're together.
They're an item, Dylan.
No, they seem to be very happily together, which is,
Yeah.
very nice for both of them.
I love it. I actually did a deep dive when I was trying to figure out. See, I do research, but only for my own personal benefit because I wanted to know, are they actually in a relationship? And that's when I remembered that Liam Neeson was married to Natasha to Natasha Bedingfield. What's her name?
Wait, what does Natasha Bedingfield do? Is that Feel the Rain on Your Skin? Is that her?
Yes, yeah, yeah, yeah. But he was married to
Natasha Richardson.
Natasha Richardson. Thank you. Yeah, tragic ski accident.
Is that how it happened? That's terribly
Yeah.
sad.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And for those of you listening, Natasha Bedingfield, Feel the Rain on Your Skin, Natasha Richardson, mom from The Parent Trap.
Yes, you're right. And yeah, that's 16 years ago now that she did pass away. And I think Liam Neeson had intentionally said he did not date for a long time because he wanted his, to wait until his sons were more grown up, which I think
Yeah,
is nice and very respectful.
totally,
Hmm.
totally. So, this may be his first venture into romance post his wife dying, which happened a long time ago. And I like it. I'm in full support. Not that anybody gives a fuck what I think, but I think it's great. The other thing I learned, and this, Dylan, shook me to my very fucking core.
Was it that Liam Neeson was never married to Natasha Bedingfield?
No.
Okay.
That my pea brain could comprehend. What I couldn't believe was that Liam Neeson was Schindler in Schindler's List.
You didn't realize that.
I had no fucking idea. Liam Neeson comes onto my radar as the guy from Taken. Oh no, I'm sorry. Qui-Gon Jinn came first.
I was going to say,
he's just Qui-Gon Jinn.
He's been a very famous working actor for a very long time.
But he played Schindler in Schindler's List. That feels like
he was
it's
Academy
older
Award
than
nominated
us.
for it too, I think.
Was that his first? Was that his breakout role? Like, what the fuck?
No.
Also, have you ever seen that movie?
Yeah, not a fun watch. Very good movie. I just think of Seinfeld now. You made out during Schindler's List? Yeah.
Yeah. I have not seen it. Doesn't seem like something I'd want to see.
It's one of those movies that like you watch and you're like, I'm glad I watched that. Now never again. You know what I mean? Like I've seen the movie The Pianist, and it's a fantastic movie. It's not a movie that if it was like on TV, I'd be like, ooh, let me grab some popcorn. Like,
is that also a Holocaust movie?
Yeah.
I feel like in the 90s, everybody was like, let's revisit the Holocaust.
Like, we also, you know what would be good?
Have you ever seen The Boy in the Striped Pajamas?
No. Although my grandma loves it.
Another Holocaust movie. Why does she love it?
She just thinks it's great. She's read the book too. I know. I can't figure out what is his very first thing that makes Liam Neeson big, but the first thing I've ever seen him in, and it's only like 3 years before Schindler's List, is Darkman. And I think that's a really cool movie. Like that's a movie that I might do on the podcast at some point. It's Sam Raimi, and Liam Neeson plays the hero who, you know, basically like the city is overrun with crime. They kill him and they're, you know, trying to steal his woman, but it turns out he's not dead. He's basically just been destroyed. He's like a shell of human being. His face is gone. He had been working on this project though for like fake skin. So he becomes this superhero where like he can wear fake skin for a certain amount of time and transform his face into anyone. Like he can look like anybody. And he has like some sort of, he's a little bit stronger than a normal person.
You're not selling me this, but I don't want to watch this movie. This
yeah, but the good thing about this podcast is I can make you watch things.
I suppose that is the whole idea of this podcast.
Yeah, no, I don't want to watch any of this shit you suggest.
Hey, don't hit me with fish.
Listen here, old sport.
Okay, I really did like.
Wait, throwback. Do you know what was his role before Oscar Schindler? Taking you back to high school English class, if you remember this one, he played Ethan Frome in the movie of Ethan Frome.
I don't know what any of that is.
You don't know Ethan Frome? It's a book they made us read in high school about a guy like who goes down a sled and he's like paralyzed. It's not fun.
No,
not a great movie.
I didn't read that.
Great double feature back to back with Schindler's List. Really uplifting.
Yeah. That'll really give you the will to live right back.
We've strayed very far.
I tried to bring it back.
Pam Anderson.
Okay. Yeah, so I think they both did a really good job. I have seen interviews of Liam Neeson recently being silly, and I feel like I don't know him. I don't claim to know him, but in my mind, he has recently discovered being funny.
He honestly, you know what it really reminds me of? It reminds me of Leslie Nielsen, because Leslie Nielsen was a guy who it's like, I can tell you're not that funny. Like you're not what makes this role funny. It's the writing. But I like that you like being funny and want to try. Like Leslie Nielsen always had his little fart machine and he thought like, I'm being funny. And I feel like Liam Neeson is doing the same thing. Like he's doing dad dancing in his little interviews and stuff like that. I'm like, good for you. You go, Liam.
He recently, I saw something where he was talking about being Qui-Gon Jinn and like how they made him die and it was so stupid. And he was like, so what Jedi Master is going to go for the old, I'm going to get you in the face. No, just kidding. I got you in the stomach. Like, no Jedi Master would fall for that. And I'm like, you're so cute and funny now.
I also liked, they were asking him, Seth MacFarlane called me if I wanted to be in the Naked Gun movie. And I said, how much? Like, you know what? Very realistic. That's fair.
Yeah.
Can I talk about Pam Anderson gave maybe the funniest line reading of this whole movie for me. And they did the classic bit that they did from Police Squad, which is what the original show that The Naked Gun is based on, where at the very end of the movie, everyone is just staying perfectly still. And Liam Neeson and Pam Anderson become like self-aware of this moment as the credits are starting to roll. And they're walking by everybody trying to see like what's going on. And Pam Anderson just gives such a serious, heartfelt, wake up, you piece of shit. Like she just gave it with such oomph that it got me really good.
Yeah. Yeah. I did appreciate that.
And her scatting, her being up there going like,
I got a hot take. I didn't think the scatting was funny.
the scatting. Now, if it had been the focus the entire time, would it have been funny for me? No. But as the in between, as like Frank Drebin is, sneaking around, and then we cut back to it was working for me enough.
She didn't sell it enough for me, I'll be honest. But I do think that we have made a major misstep by not talking about the scene with the snowman.
Yes, the scene that is very much based on what I feel like it's based on Jack Frost, the horror movie.
And Corey leaned over to me and said, "Dad's dead. He's the snowman."
Well, not that Jack Frost is based more on the horror one, but yes, your dad's dead. He's the snowman. Anytime we can bring that back, I'm happy about it.
Oh, yeah.
But honestly, that really cracked me up. And like, as it went farther and farther, it just really, like, I was laughing at them, putting snow cone stuff on and eating them. And they're like, the moment that Liam Neeson pushes the snowman away from the threesome, I knew how it was going to go. And it still had me dying.
It was very funny. I think that moment reeks of Seth MacFarlane.
It does feel a little bit like it would be a cutaway gag. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what? It worked.
It goes on. Family Guy, the beauty of Family Guy is that they take a joke and it's kind of funny, and then they keep doing it and it's like absurd how long they keep doing it. And that's how the snowman scene felt for me. It was like,
it's the equivalent of the chicken fight in Family Guy.
Yes, exactly. And I was happy with it, and I loved the choice of the music, the way that the song, I don't remember what the song was, but it like started to change and like become a horror, soundtrack song. It was just really well done.
There's a lot of great moments. You know what? As I think about it, I'm like, there's so many really funny moments though. Him walking into the apartment and it's a knife with a sign that says like, pick me up. You know what I mean? Like I was like,
yeah.
Press the tape recorder and say your name and say, I did it. Like
say I did it. Yeah. I think, it's funny. Maybe I'll save this for the verdict.
Okay. Should we get to the facts and then we'll just reveal our full true feelings?
Please.
I want the truth!
Face the facts, ducks.
Facts have no place with an organized religion.
Let's start with our ratings. On Rotten Tomatoes, as of August 6th, the tomato meter has at 89% with an audience score of 75%. IMDb, it's a 7 out of 10. And the budget is $42 million estimated. And again, as of August 6th, it has a gross of $30 million worldwide. So hopefully, if it can like it out, maybe we get a sequel to this. Maybe we get another one. Who knows? We'll see.
Is that normal to be this low at this point?
I think it's rare for a movie to be profitable on the first weekend. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like normally you want to, if you can make back your budget in the first weekend, you're fine. You know what I mean? And then you want to double it to get to profitability.
Yeah. Okay.
So the critics' consensus, with Liam Neeson's gravelly gravitas proving to be a perfect fit for Frank Drebin's deadpan buffoonery, The Naked Gun revives the original trilogy's daffy sense of humor like it never went out of style. Richard Brody from The New Yorker, fear not, The Naked Gun hits the target, but barely. This reboot of the beloved franchise, centered on the Los Angeles Police Squad, is funny enough to sustain patience without rivaling the original's wild charm. Kyle Smith from The Wall Street Journal, Mr. Neeson's picture isn't a Hall of Famer like the first two films. It's more like the lesser third entry, Naked Gun 33 1/3, wobbly here and there, but intermittently great. Brian Tallarico from RogerEbert.com. This movie has a secret weapon that makes it into a comedy killing machine. Liam Neeson.
Wow.
Jake. Oh, I'm sorry. You were going to say?
All I said was wow.
Wow. Jake Coyle from the Associated Press. It would be easy to hail The Naked Gun as something better than it is, since it's simply existing is cause for celebration. But like most reboots, the best thing about the new Naked Gun is that it might send you back to the original. Fair. Letterboxd reviews?
Please.
Jonathan Fuji. This movie's commitment to having a joke/sight gag every 45 seconds is unironically one of the most impressive things I've seen.
Well, then you obviously haven't seen the original.
True that. Zoe Rose Bryant, the best live action Looney Tunes movie ever made. Neeson deserves an Oscar nomination.
Again, I don't think you've seen the original.
Alex Ju, the moral of the story, if Frank Drebin had been in 28 Days Later, that pandemic would have lasted 28 minutes.
Okay.
I like that one when he beat up the crowd pretty well at the end there.
Yeah.
Abby, me halfway through this a joke a minute movie with some of the silliest visuals and wordplay since Leslie Nielsen graced the screen in the original Naked Guns and Airplane. Surely he would have loved this. The ghost of Leslie Nielsen suddenly appearing behind me. I do love it. And don't call me Shirley.
Aw, that's nice.
Okay. The movie was directed by Akiva Schaffer, who also directed Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers, Pop Star Never Stop Never Stopping, and Hot Rod.
Did you see Pop Star Never Stop Never Stopping?
I have. Have you?
Yeah. I love Andy Samberg. It was okay.
I think each time I see it, it gets a little bit funnier. I do feel like it's the closest we've ever gotten back to doing like This Is Spinal Tap.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I can see why they picked Akiva Schaffer for this movie.
Yeah.
The screenplay was written by Dan Greger, Doug Mand, and Akiva Schaffer, who also wrote How I Met Your Mother, Saturday Night Live, and of course, all of the Lonely Island songs are partially Akiva Schaffer.
That's actually, I didn't know any of that.
Akiva Schaffer, Jorma Taccone, and Andy Samberg are the three members of the Lonely Island.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is all breaking news to me. So, and he wrote How I Met Your Mother?
No, that was Dan Greger, is one of the main writers on How I Met Your Mother.
Oh, so not the Lonely Island guy.
No.
Okay. Is my dick in a box?
That's nice. Thank you.
You're welcome.
It stars Liam Neeson as Frank Drebin Jr., who you might know from Taken, Schindler's List, Darkman, and Star Wars Episode 1. Pam Anderson as Beth Davenport, who you might know from Baywatch, The Last Showgirl, and Home Improvement. Danny Houston as the villainous Richard Kane, who you might know from X-Men Origins Wolverine, Wonder Woman, and Game Night. Paul Walter Hauser as Ed Jr., who you might know from Fantastic Four First Steps, Cobra Kai, and I, Tanya, and featuring CCH Pounder, who you might know from The Shield, as and she's the voice of Amanda Waller in Justice League for my DC people. Woo! Also, you might know her from that one line on The Shield. God damn it, Dutch! What are the errands have you got us running for the DA?
No idea what you're talking about.
Oh, Gab. This disappoints me because you don't watch The Shield or It's Always Sunny.
Yeah.
Also featuring Liza Kosher, Kevin Durant, Cody Rhodes, Busta Rhymes, and Dave Bautista.
Okay, let me say one other thing. Busta Rhymes being in this felt like two things. Number one, it felt like, okay, so we needed another famous black guy to like make sure we tie up our loose ends. And the second thing was, how was there no Busta Rhymes song featured at all?
This does feel like if this had came out in the 90s or 2000s, we would have gotten a Busta Rhymes end credit song. Not that I mind the end credit song we do get, but I do feel like there should have been something with Busta Rhymes giving me more. Yeah.
Because he's not famous enough to be like, oh shit, it's Busta Rhymes. But it would have been cool. I mean, Busta Rhymes is still relevant. He could have, listen.
What's the last popular Busta Rhymes song you can think of?
I will tell you right now. Listen, do you know how many conversations I have about hip hop music? I am so educated in hip hop now, Dylan. It's
Is
the
this
only
like an
thing.
exercise class thing?
No, this is like I'm marrying somebody who loves hip hop thing. Busta Rhymes recent hit.
You made it sound like, oh, you've memorized all the Busta Rhymes songs. Yeah, you're Googling. This is already a bad sign.
I'm Googling. And if Corey were here, he would just tell me. But he's got like, let's go. Yeah,
that song's like 20 years old.
Yeah, but he has I Love My Bitch from 2006. He has Break Your Neck, which everybody knows.
I Hate My Bitch in 2007.
He has Arab Money. Past the Cavassier Part 1 and Part 2. I'm not really seeing anything on here from the 2020s, but
yeah,
I think. Listen, the important thing to know is that he's a native New Yorker and he can rap really fast. And I do believe he has a bit of a lisp, but you know what? He never let that stop him.
Nobody's got flow like Busted. Alrighty. Do you want to hear some fun facts?
Great. Yeah, I do. This has been enough fun facts for me. You got more?
In 2018, David Zucker, the original director, said he and the original writers, Jim Abrahams and Jerry Zucker, wrote a script for a fourth film in which Frank Drebin's son was a security guard who gets mixed up with the CIA and is sent on a spy adventure. It would have been a spoof of the Bourne and Mission Impossible films, as well as the newer Bond films with Daniel Craig. The original title was The Naked Gun 4, Nordberg Did It. Then got changed to Naked Impossible. According to Zucker, the script was enthusiastically embraced by the production head of Paramount, John Gonda. However, in a later meeting, the script was not as well received by Gonda's boss, who objected to some mild off-color jokes. Now, there's one that specifically Zucker cited, including one where a woman gets a breast reduction to fit into a Kevlar bulletproof vest. Nothing happened with the project after that, and Zucker only found out about this reboot when he read about it in the press. So I get him not being happy with the situation where he's like, hey, they like the script. Oh, I haven't heard anything from them. Oh, Seth MacFarlane, I guess, has taken over my movie.
That, first of all, that would make me, I would go on a murderous rampage if I were David Zucker. That's number one. That's your fucking life's work. And somebody is just going to come along. And somebody who's objectively less funny than you is going to come out, abso-fucking-lutely not. That makes my blood boil. Secondly, that sounds like a funnier movie.
I mean, who knows? I do think it sounds really funny. I'm like, we could do both. I would watch that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sadly, it sounds like David Zucker, though, has seen the trailer once, I think, and has no intentions of seeing the movie.
That's what I read.
Which
yeah.
I get it. Yeah. When Frank enters the Bangle Club in the movie, the first thing shown is the iconic stuffed beaver from the original movie.
Yep.
Liam Neeson was 72 years old at the time of filming, 5 years older than Leslie Nielsen was at the time he made his final appearance as Frank Drebin, at 67 years old at the time of Naked Gun 33 and a third, the final insult.
Damn, Liam Neeson looks good.
You think? I also just think this says how old Leslie Nielsen always looked. Like,
yeah.
I'm like, Leslie Nielsen was like 60 during the first Naked Gun. I'm like, that's crazy.
That is crazy. Well, it's the white hair. But I feel like Liam Neeson, again, much like Pamela Anderson, is just getting older, and it's totally okay, and we all love and respect him. But I do think he looks good for 72.
He's now 73. Yeah, I think he looks like a 73-year-old.
I mean, he's dating Pam Anderson.
Yeah. Pam Anderson, who I think is 57 or 58.
That's an age gap, and not in the Anna Nicole Smith way.
No, I don't think Pam Anderson is just with him for his money and waiting for him to die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know about this because I read up on it when I realized that they were two different people.
That's good.
Yeah.
Just as in the previous 3 Naked Gun movies, Weird Al has a cameo.
Yep, loved that. Question, I'm sorry to interrupt you. How did you feel about the siren scene going at the end? Because I will say this, I was very upset when it wasn't in the beginning. But then when I saw it at the end, I was like, okay, I guess. It was like the same one. It was like a cut and paste. But I was also like, now that I know about this David Zucker thing, fuck you. Don't put it in there.
I think what's weird about it is I've watched some interviews with the director, Akiva Schaffer, and he said, I think at some point things must have been more okay because he said he went to David Zucker's house and had he spoke to him for hours to talk about things. So I don't know if that was at a time where maybe they were thinking about writing it and having him direct it. Maybe I don't know what the deal is there because they've talked for years about doing another Naked Gun movie, but I don't know. I don't think that the creators of this movie meant any disrespect towards them. That's my feeling. Now, I could see how they were disrespected by the head of Paramount, but I can tell that the people who made this movie have love for the original Naked Gun movies. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
But I did like seeing the siren scene at the end and hearing that song. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where was I? Development commenced in 2009 for a project initially slated as a direct-to-TV release featuring Leslie Nielsen, titled The Naked Gun 4, Rhythm of Evil. The concept unfolded as a passing of the torch narrative with Frank Drebin mentoring a younger police officer. Which that sounds bad.
Yeah, I'm glad that didn't happen.
Yes. When Richard Kane crashes his motorcycle, causing him to be flung into a fountain, we can hear the Wilhelm scream. Always nice to acknowledge that.
What is that?
You know it from Star Wars for sure. It's that classic scream. I can't do the scream, but you know it. In fact, no, it's like, ah! Like, it's one big scream. It's originally from like a Western or something. It's in Star Wars. It's in a million things.
Can you pull it up and play it? Thank you. I'm going to feel uncomfortable if I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm going to cut
I feel like it's
out,
like,
yes.
No, don't cut it out. This is gold. Yeah, that's what I just did.
Okay,
You
so
have
you
to
do
keep
know
it in. You have to keep it in because I was right. Ah!
Okay, yes, that's the one.
Thank you. Don't the people need to know how smart I am, Dill.
Oh
I
my
don't
god.
have
Yeah, this'll
much.
do it.
Yeah.
I already said Priscilla Presley as a cameo. So in 2013, Ed Helms was originally set to star in a reboot with Robert Ben Garant and Thomas Lennon writing the screenplay from Reno 911.
No.
I really like Thomas Lennon and Robert Ben Garant. I really like Ed Helms. I think he would have been much worse for this because of the fact that he is directly
He's funny.
comedic. Yeah.
Yeah. It needed to be Liam Neeson.
It needed to, I can't think of anybody else who would have been much better. Honestly, if you aged him up 30 years, maybe like a Jason Statham type.
Yeah, or like Daniel Craig.
Yeah. Although Daniel Craig is already doing his silly thing with his like Knives Out super southerner guy,
Oh, I
Benoit
don't even
Blanc.
know.
You got to see
I don't
Knives
know
Out.
anything
Those are
about
good
that.
movies.
Okay.
In France, it's titled Is There a Cop to Save the World? And each of the three prior Naked Guns were titled Is There a Cop to Save the whatever?
The Queen.
Yeah.
That's great.
In Italy, it's given the same title as the original movie, A Blunt Bullet.
Oh, okay.
So, Akiva Schaffer, I pulled this from an interview, him talking about the TiVo joke. He knew that not everyone was going to understand his desire to keep the bit, and in fact, Liam Neeson himself was skeptical about the joke. Akiva recalled, I had to tell Liam, no, I know that one doesn't fully play. It only plays for half the audience. It's just my favorite, and I like that we don't explain it. Schaefer's love of the joke extends so far that it's the only thing in the movie that still makes him laugh. He elaborated, it's the only joke that still makes me laugh after seeing the movie 1,000 times, scrutinizing every frame. It's all just like ones and zeros to me now of color and sound and mix. None of it makes me laugh anymore. That joke still makes me laugh every time, and it was always polarizing. Half the audience would be like, do not touch it. It's the best joke in the movie. And half the audience would be like, get that out of here. I don't even have a clue what that was. But I have to admit, it was self-indulgent. I know.
I thought it was funny.
I feel like I totally got it. And when I saw the movie, the person leans over to me and goes, this is you. Because of the way that he goes, I wanted you to get my references. And he's like cradling his TiVo.
Yes. So why
why
didn't people like it? Because they don't know what a TiVo is?
I get that, like, he goes on to his rant about Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and like, for a minute it just becomes him talking about his favorite show, and I get that for people it's like, sure, this might not mean anything to you, but I don't know, I got it. It played for me.
I think it's funny that he has a TiVo and his favorite TV show is like so outdated. Like I think it
Well, and
is
that he's
objectively
keeping it alive
funny.
on his TiVo by now plugging it into the internet, because the moment it's plugged into the internet, it will expire.
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought it was great.
I also have here Akiva Schaffer talking about getting the movie made. So he said, we took the bulk of the hospital scene, and this is before the movie had been given the green light. But they just knew that they had Liam Neeson attached. They wanted to get the movie actually made. They needed to get it approved. We took the bulk of that hospital scene where he's interrogating Kevin Durand, and then some of the jokes from the interrogation scene with Busta Rhymes, and created a mini 5-minute scene. We got some day player actors from LA to come be in it for the day. At the end of it, after Liam gets the criminal to break, he looks at the criminal. Don't mess with me. Then he turned to the camera. There's that noir lighting on his face, and he says, that goes for you too. Yes, you. The Paramount Greenlight Committee. I see you there. What the fuck are you waiting for? Why don't you get your pencil pushers to sign the line? I'll tell you what. Make sure they have a line item for adult diapers and cocaine in case one of you ever wants to visit set, or something like that. He basically talks shit to them and leaves, and it worked.
That's amazing. That scene was funny. We didn't talk about that. Where it's I don't even know how to explain it. It's like the back.
It's a play on Mission Impossible, where they're doing an interrogation in a hospital, but it turns out that the hospital room isn't the real room they're in, and then they're in a bigger interrogation room. It turns out that's not the real room that they're in, because they're in a bigger room, and it turns out that's not the room they're in, because that's actually a CGI wall.
Yeah, it was really funny. It was cute.
And the last thing I have here is just to make sure you're looking with a keen eye in the credits, because the credits have jokes like their Netflix password, the on-set salad dressings. They have the Tool Man and the Tool Non-Man credited.
That I did not see that.
Yeah, it's worth. In fact, they do that in every one of the Naked Gun movies. It's worth looking at the credits to see like there's hidden jokes in there.
You didn't tell me any of that. I was
I thought that you actually respected and watched the credits, Cap. So that's your fault.
Not giving the grips their due, their flowers. Yeah.
Why don't you go grip a butt?
Okay, good one.
All right. Now it's time to grip this podcast episode by the balls and get to the verdicts.
Dylan, you let those balls go. It is not time for verdicts. It's time for mail.
Unclenching balls.
Mail time! When you control the mail, you control information.
Mom asked me to ask you if there's any mail for us here by mistake.
What?
All right. First we have a couple of comments. So first these are on our Superman episode from Lanola Cola. It's a bird. It's a plane. No, it's an algorithm appropriate podcast episode covering Superman 2025.
Whoop, whoop.
The funny thing is, I've told you this before, Gab. I have no understanding of how TikTok works. I just post the clips there. Superman 2025, I was like, this'll get big numbers. Nothing will ever beat Shapoopy from the Music Man.
That was in the how many views? So many views,
almost
right?
10,000, which for us was astronomical.
Really, really big. Yeah, I wonder, did you use we sound so old. Did you use a special hashtag for that one?
You mean the pound sign?
Yeah.
I didn't think so, but apparently.
Yeah.
And then we have two comments here from our original fan, Scotty Cameron. First, Vampire's Kiss is the only movie that deserves a bonus episode where Dylan and Gab rethink their verdicts. It's part of what makes that movie so special.
Oh God, it's so true. I was recently explaining to somebody. They were talking to me about movies, and they were like, "Yeah, I like weird movies, but not scary movies." And I was like, "Boy, do I have the fucking movie for you, pal."
How do you feel about the alphabet?
I would love to do another episode on that. I think we should actually start a second podcast where we make guests watch that movie, and then we just talk about it with a different guest every week. What do you think?
That's like a lot of work for me to just keep doing Vampire's Kiss.
No, because you won't have to watch it again. We could do it 2 or 3 more times, and then you'd be good. It would be like if we did a podcast about Forrest Gump. You don't have to watch Forrest Gump anymore. You've seen it enough.
No, because I know myself. I would still commit to keep watching Vampire's Kiss every goddamn time.
Well, that's because you're an overachiever, and really the only person you have to blame for that is yourself.
I do blame myself.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Second comment from Scotty Cameron. And I believe that this is taking off the fact that I did say Superman is the first comic book movie to make the list. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles made the list before Superman, so it's the third. I've been meaning to catch it in theaters. I'm just a busy guy, so I haven't had a lot of opportunities to see movies in the theater. The Batman was the last movie I saw in the theater, which isn't that 2022?
Yeah, that was the first movie Corey and I ever saw together.
What? How far? You had been dating a while then, hadn't you?
Yeah, but we hadn't gone to the movies. We watched movies, but we hadn't gone to a movie.
You people need to embrace cinema. Go to the theater, damn it.
I mean, we have been. We've been going every week, goddamn.
I meant the royal you people, not just you people, but all of you people.
Yeah.
Yeah. It has already made over 2 to 2.5 times its production budget, which means it is a success, and we're going to get more. I sure hope.
Hooray.
Yes, I'm very much in favor of keeping Robert Pattinson in his own Elseworld. His universe, much like the Christopher Nolan verse, is too grounded in realism to work in a shared DC. Having all of Batman's just be regular street criminals alongside superpowered beings makes them feel out of place and useless. I want a Joker who has his vat of chemicals origin in this fantastical universe, not one with Harlequin syndrome, which is a real genetic condition that gives people a clown-like appearance. Take a look in the mirror, motherfucker. Oh, sorry, Scotty.
Sorry,
Scotty's
Scotty.
like, I took the time to send you this, you asshole. It would be as disappointing as the MCU Serpent Society, where we have Hulks and other metahumans running around in the MCU. Yet the Serpent Society are just mercenaries with snake-themed code names instead of human-serpent cross-species. Basically what shoehorning Pattinson's Batman to the DCU would do to Batman's villains. Also, the plan for Batman being on Robin number 5, which is his biological son. That means a Nightwing movie is on the table and other Batman spinoffs. Also, keeping the Batman in Elseworld opens the door for other Elseworlds projects, like maybe Superman Red Sun or Batman Bloodstorm. Even I don't know what Batman Bloodstorm is, so I think that is unlikely.
Do yourself a favor. Do not Google Harlequin syndrome.
Really?
Yep, don't do it.
I feel like the moment you said that, I was like, I have to do that.
All right, go ahead. Do it right now.
It doesn't seem that bad.
Nope, Dylan hit images.
Bad. Okay, some of it's bad. Okay, I don't like it. I'm going to stop looking.
Well, what's really interesting is there seem to be a lot of different issues. Let me rephrase that. A lot of different conditions that start with the word Harlequin, because some of this is like you get a little sweaty, and some of it is like you won't live past 2-3 years old.
Yeah, some of these are. Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna stop doing that. And I feel like this seems the people are gonna come after me for being insensitive. So I don't know. I don't like it. I did not enjoy that.
Yeah, listen, all love,
Oh, that was it there. Okay.
all love, all respect, all positive vibes.
We have an email here from Legacy Allen. Movie suggestion. Random thought after getting out of the movie theater for the sequel. I have a recommendation for a solid action movie I think is worth watching before you die. Bob Odenkirk's Nobody.
I saw it in theaters and I
Didn't you
hated
hate it? Yeah.
Hated it.
Why?
So, first of all,
I
Bob.
saw it too, and I thought it was solid. Sorry, I interrupted you.
No, please. Anything else you want to say? It was solid.
It's solid.
Okay. I think Bob Odenkirk is a national treasure, right? And I think Bob Odenkirk deserves to have his dream come true of being an action star. However, he is not cut out for that. That is not why we pay Bob Odenkirk. That is not what I want out of my Bob Odenkirk. That is not what I asked for. And it wasn't remarkable enough to be like, you know what? I loved it. I really felt like there wasn't a lot of dialogue. It was just a lot of fighting scenes, and it just didn't do it for me.
So
it was
let me ask you, is it that he didn't do the action well enough, or is it you didn't like the story enough?
Both. I mean, listen, I'm not an expert on action. I'm sure it was great. I'm sure he worked really hard. When I get Bob Odenkirk, I want a character. You know what I mean? Like, he's a character actor. I don't want him to play the fucking Liam Neeson fucking who I'm trying to think of the other guy.
I don't want to see
that
Steve Buscemi do Conan the Barbarian.
Yeah, like it's just like I'm good. Yeah, I don't know. It wasn't what I wanted. I thought we were gonna get an action movie that had Bob Odenkirk, but instead we just got Bob Odenkirk in an action movie, and it was like, no thanks.
I kind of get that, and I kind of think that's fair. That it felt too much like it could have been an action movie with anybody in it. Not that there was no reason that it felt like it had to be him.
And I felt a little bit like I was sort of supporting his like passion project, because maybe from the time he was a little kid he wanted to be an action star. And I'm like, listen, I love you enough to be like contributing money to this fund or whatever, but I wasn't like, oh my God, that was so good.
Well, sorry, Legacy. I think you got your verdict right there.
Yeah, sorry. But they're making a sequel, and I don't want to see that one either. So
it came out. You know what? I didn't want to see it, but I like that Colin Hanks is in it. I like Colin Hanks. I support Colin Hanks.
I like Colin Hanks too, but I'm still not going to see it.
He's much better than Chet Hanks. No, I have not.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, and now we have a couple of audio messages. These are from Scotty. I hate to tell you this. Our number one listener, the one who is we can't stop him even if we want to. It's Kyle, our Canadian correspondent, who has come up with a little jingle for his Canadian court.
Oh, good.
We will now begin a closed fishbowl discussion on the matter.
What's a fishbowl discussion? You're back, baby.
But it doesn't carry itself that way. That matters here.
I want to talk to you about something important.
Okay. There needs to be something very overly Canadian in there next time, Kyle, though. I need to what were you talking about on there? Like something like that, you know? And now I will play his second Canadian court segment.
Canadian court is now in session. I have heard the arguments, and now I will deliver my verdict. Going all the way back to episode 1, the fact that Raiders of the Lost Ark, arguably one of the most iconic action-adventure movies of all time, is not on the list is a current travesty, and it is a crime against film and pop culture, if I'm being totally honest. I don't even think Dylan, in his bewilderment, was able to explain the iconography of this film.
I failed you, Kyle.
Getting an action-adventure movie that was a throwback to the 30s and the 40s in the 1980s is just something we didn't see then, and we don't get it now. Indiana Jones entered pop culture, and to me at least, definitively explained who Harrison Ford was as an actor, that he was the lead of his own franchise, and this is absolutely a movie to watch before you die. Looking at the cinematography, the score, the direction, everything about it, it has to be on the list.
Well, he's made us revisit episode number 1, which is something neither of us wants to do.
Yeah, no, thank you. I remember
think
listening to episode 1 back after we put it out and thinking, oh, we're not very good at this.
And now we are, we're okay at this.
We have some structure at least.
Yeah, there's some times where I like listening to this.
Yeah.
So, Gab, do you feel like, would you want to rethink your feelings on not episode 1, which we both agree is not very good, but on the movie in question, Raiders of the Lost Ark?
I would be willing to revisit. However, I think my problem with it is going to stand, which is that I just waited too long and it wasn't as epic as Star Wars. And I had imagined that it was going to give me the childlike wonder that I got when I watched Star Wars for the first time as like a 5-year-old. And so I think I would feel the same way about Star Wars if I had never seen it. And then I sit down to watch it as an adult and I'm like, this is what everyone's been freaking out about my whole life, you know?
I do feel like it's one of those movies that is so hyped that you have to see as a child. Otherwise, you've heard too much.
Yeah.
Is it better than Bob Odenkirk's Nobody?
Yeah.
Well, Kyle, I got you that at least.
Yeah.
We put up the best fight we could, Kyle.
I'd be willing to rewatch it. You know, it's funny. I remember watching it like in my little studio apartment. Corey fell asleep next to me and he was snoring. And I was just like trying to keep notes and I didn't know what I was. And I was trying to like find things about it to say on the podcast. Like, I think I would probably. I've gotten much better at this job by this point.
If you had to watch one right now, Raiders of the Lost Ark or The Fugitive?
The Fugitive. I love that movie.
Hell yeah. I love The Fugitive. Not that that was the takeaway that we were going for here, but God damn it, I love that movie.
It's a great movie.
Great movie. Some would say a movie to watch before you die.
Some may.
We did. All right. I think we're just getting off the tracks now.
Okay.
Yeah. Could Harrison Ford have starred in The Naked Gun to pull it back on the tracks very quickly?
He's too old.
I mean, well, I guess he is older than Liam Neeson. Yeah, he's probably in his 80s.
Yeah, and I don't mean like, oh, he's too old, he couldn't play the role. I mean like you look at Harrison Ford now and you're like, oh, that man is old. Like we gotta start appreciating him, you know?
Like in The Homeward Bound, he was just too old.
Yeah, exactly. He's like in his upper 80s. He's like the curtains are closing.
Oh God, I just reopened it to the Harlequin stuff.
Oh God. Yeah, now I typed HA and it's like, I know what you want to see.
He's 83.
He just like talks like an old man. He's unsteady.
His voice is gravelly.
Oh God, yeah. It's hard to watch.
All right. Well, that settles that. Should we get to these actual I'm re-gripping the balls so we can
gripping the balls. Let's go.
Do or do not. There is no try.
The guilty will be punished.
Sentence is death.
Gab, I feel like now I'm less confident about this than I was before, but as much as I think the third act is weak, I think this movie really lived up to the expectations as best as it could. I think Liam Neeson is great. I think Pamela Anderson is great. I think Richard Kane, Danny Houston really gives me a Ricardo Montalban type performance of his over-the-top grandiosity as a villain, including his, oh, you punched me in the soft part of my belly. Like, I thought he was great.
That was funny.
Everyone does just enough in a movie that is get in, get out, and cracked me up. And I will say, I don't think it'll play quite as well outside of theater to me because there's one moment that in my movie theater, Gab, it's the scene where the joke is not that good. They take a sip of champagne and Danny Houston goes, it's from Bill Cosby's private collection. It's an okay joke. But in my theater, Gab, there was somebody who went, and for the next 2 minutes, he just kept trying to stop and he would go, like, it was the strangest laugh I've ever heard. And I was dying at it. And I think overall, the movie cracked me up. And it was nice to see a movie that funny in the theater again. So I'm going to say, just barely, that The Naked Gun is a movie to watch before you die again.
Okay. I'm a little surprised. I'm not going to lie. I'm glad we didn't talk about this. I sat on my hands. I didn't text you after the movie. I think I've been going back and forth on this for a long time because I did enjoy it. It just didn't meet my expectations, and perhaps my expectations were too high. And it's very hard to not compare it to its predecessor,
Sure.
right? But I'll say this. This is what really solidified my decision, which I have not told you yet. My friend Jacob, he will never hear this. Jacob and his wife Sydney, I trained them both. They're expecting a baby soon, so keep your eyes out.
Thank you for all this backstory on them.
You're welcome. I have a picture of them on my refrigerator, just the two of them on my fridge.
Nothing's changed about that. I'm glad I'm being filled in on this Jacob lore. Go on.
Yeah. I love Jacob. He's great. He's very funny. Also Jewish. So
Please
anyway,
tell me more about Jacob instead of what you think about this movie, Gab.
He's an intellectual property lawyer, which is kind of cool. He tells me all
my
about
God. I didn't think you actually would.
So Jacob texted me and said, Sydney and I are going to go see The Naked Gun. Should we watch the original first? And the way that I interpret this, and just knowing Jacob, is that he has seen it and Sydney has not. So I thought to myself, I'm at a crossroads here. Because if I say no, there's a possibility that Sydney won't really get it. But if I say yes, there's a likelihood that they're both going to be disappointed because the original is just so much better. And I wasn't really sure what to do. And I ended up saying, yes, you should watch the original first.
Agreed.
And it just it kind of solidified this decision for me that it's just not a movie to watch before you die. And it's not that I don't enjoy it. It's not that I didn't like it. But even when we walked out of the theater, I thought to myself, that was good, but it wasn't. It wasn't the original. And I just feel like there must have been something that was like, well, Zucker is pissed, so we can't necessarily do this. So we're going to try to do like our version, but like nobody asked for your version. We didn't want your version. It was perfect the way that it was. And when you explained that Zucker had a fourth movie written, it sounds like that movie was way better than the one that we got.
Wow. I mostly agree with you too, that like, do I think it's as good as the original? No. I do think it's very much on the level though with Naked Gun 2.5, Naked Gun 33 1/3, Airplane 2. You know what I mean? I think it's a pretty damn funny movie. Honestly, it's probably the funniest movie I've seen in the movie theaters since I don't know when. But that's just because comedies don't come out in movie theaters enough anymore.
Yeah, that is true. And certainly. And I don't, if they were making a sequel to the sequel, I don't know. Like, it's not that I wouldn't go see it. I just I feel like we have, in terms of Naked Guns, we've set the bar and this didn't live up to it.
I think that's fair enough. I can't say that I fault you at all for it. I'm not shocked, especially with how you talked about it before in the previous hour or however long it was. Yeah, you know what though? It is okay for us to agree to disagree, and you're a stupid duty head.
Yeah, and that's fine.
Who thinks Busta Rhymes is still relevant?
I do. He did a song with Chris Brown. Ladies love me. I'm on my cool Jake. He says that in the song. Chris Brown does not.
Oh,
not it's Let's
I know the song
Go.
you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. Same song. Busta Rhymes song.
I think
I've been able
does
to
he only do one
on
song?
own.
I know he does the song. It's getting hot up in here, so the water on him, but he does it much faster than that.
Yeah,
he says it like six times in the time it took me to say it once.
Yeah. Yeah, he's talented. He's talented. I often ask Corey, like,
he's just fast. He really could just be working as an auctioneer.
Yeah. Well, and that's what I asked Corey. I'm like, is he a good rapper or is he just like good at talking fast? And he gets very like intellectual about it. He's like, well, he's not regarded as like an incredible lyricist, but it's undeniable that his skill. And I'm like, okay.
Cool. Is Corey ChatGPT? Because that's what he sounds like.
He's really smart and like knows a lot about like hip hop, like he's like, you know how Jacob is an intellectual property lawyer?
I'm aware of the Jacob lore, yes.
Yeah. Corey could be, an intellectual property lawyer for hip hop. Anyway.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And you want to critique comedy?
Listen, I don't know. I mean, I forgot the goddamn plot of the movie in a few days. I'll say this, and you can cut this out, although I wouldn't, because everything I say is great. I feel like the problem with seeing a movie in the theater is that I can't take notes. Normally, I'm like, oh, I got to remember to say something about this.
Should I sit in the back so I can take notes? And I was like, no, I can't.
Well, what do film critics do? Do they take notes?
They go to critics only screenings, so I imagine they can probably take notes. We ain't all big and fancy like them and Jacob.
Yeah. I don't think he's allowed at the screenings unless it's a screening regarding intellectual property.
What do you call a rapper whose name is unknown?
I don't know.
Hip Hop Anonymous.
That's not funny. I don't know what's funnier. Yeah.
God, you want to say the things we say at the end?
Yeah.
I'm cutting us off at the knees because this is bad.
Yeah. Should I do it as Busta Rhymes? No, I won't. Okay. So, thank you for listening, first and foremost. If you made it this far, God bless you. You can hear more at the podcast that you found. There are other episodes of this podcast where we talk about other movies. In fact, there's one about the Naked Gun, the original from 1988. So you should check that out if you haven't already. Additionally, in the link tree below, you can find a link to all of our friends at the Hall of Pods podcasting network. You can find a link to our merch store. You know, Dylan, I've never bought any of our merch. I should buy something.
I'm aware of that.
Have you?
Yes.
Oh, you never wear it.
No, I feel like an asshole walking around wearing my own. What's the shirt you're wearing? It's my own podcast.
You should.
I do
not feel like an asshole. You should do it.
I still do it sometimes, even because I am an asshole.
Good. Honestly, Dill, my only fun fact, like I just got a new job, and in the first team meeting, they were like, tell us a fun fact about yourself. And I was like, I have a podcast about movies. And then everybody, I have to talk to you about all the people that want to come on it. So anyway.
The fact that I have no new subscribers on our YouTube from these people is very disappointing to me.
Wow. I'm going to start busting kneecaps.
Right after you bust a rhymes.
Oh, good one. Let's go. What I gotta be like? I gotta get away. Yeah, I can't.
Why can't we stop?
You've done this.
Oh, let's also talk about. Wait, we said enough about the bullshit we say at the end here. Gab, we're actually coming back for our next episode to do another comedy in the theater and another comedy that's a follow up to a movie we've already done on this podcast. Do you want to say what it is?
We are doing Freakier Friday, motherfucker. Buckle up. Because it's getting freakier up in here. I wonder, first of all, will Busta Rhymes be in this movie? Second of all,
I'd already be way more excited if like Jamie Lee Curtis was switching with Busta Rhymes.
Oh my God, that would be so good. I saw in The Naked Gun, the preview for Freakier Friday. I'm a little skeptical because I didn't realize that not only are Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis switching, but so too are the daughters. And I'm like, this is confusing now.
Just like timelines, it's going to be hard for you to follow.
Oh boy, alternate dimensions, different timelines. It's too much for my pea brain. But yeah, speaking of, my Venmo is in the link tree. You can send me a couple bucks if you feel so inclined. Our social media, and listen, at the end of the day, just be a good person, you know.
Our social medias, maybe our social security numbers. You don't know. You haven't checked.
Listen, the last thing you want is to assume my identity, okay?
I dare you to take this identity. I would love it.
Yeah, let's trade. Wherever you're at, I'm sure it's better.
No backsies.
Yeah, that's really it. You can go ahead and cut it here, Dill. See ya.
I'm just not gonna cut it now.
Okay, cool.
Okay, that's where I'll cut it.
I don't believe you.
I sure could go for a bite.
Slow down, chef. This turkey burns at 450.
How hot was I cooking?
About 1,000. Turkey needs slow and low.
Unless you like your center pink.
No, I love my centers pink.
You're not worried the rare meat will ruin a good stuffing?
As long as you don't mind if I get salmonella.
Mind it. I prefer it.